It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
I am Iron Man.
I'm Pickle Rick!
I have a dream.
I am your father.
I'm Sean Spencer. This is my partner, Gus Silly Pants Jackson.
I'm going to show you how great I am.
God bless America.
Avengers!
Assemble.
That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune. When I'm back on top in June.
Check.
I said that's life.
Is this thing on? Is this thing on? It's on! Hello! What's up? Welcome back to life! Hi, everybody. Hi. I have so much pent-up energy, tension, anger, happiness, sadness, you name it. I feel like a prisoner. You know when prisoners get out of jail and the first thing they want to do is, like, go get a cheeseburger or walk around Walmart? That's how I feel right now. Just so much. It's been 2 weeks since I've been able to podcast. So much just pent-up just conversation. I also have not really been able to talk for, like, a week and a half.
Yeah.
And my face was swollen. And, you know, I have a hole in my face where I had the surgery and all that. So it's literally been like a week and a half of being drugged out of my mind, not being able to talk. So this episode, I don't know where it's going to go. Okay. I have a somewhat of an idea, but I had so much happen in the last 2 weeks that, you know, I'm going to try and hit some highlights here. But yeah, I might take a lot of drinks of water throughout the episode. So if you're watching it, I apologize by how much I'm going to be drinking this episode. But my mouth still gets really dry, and there's still a hole in my face. So I, got to keep things moist. I just wanted to make 98% of you uncomfortable to start the show. Yeah, what's up? Welcome back. We're here. We're live. Beautiful Wednesday. After taking So the surgery happened 2 weeks ago, Wednesday.
Yeah.
So I couldn't, of course, that episode we couldn't shoot because on Monday afternoon I found out I was going in for surgery Wednesday, and then I didn't know how long I'd be out of commission, and yeah, it hit Tuesday last week, and my face I looked like I got stung by 1,000 bees on the one side of my cheek. It was swollen. I looked deformed. I looked like the dude from the Goonies, like. Hey, you guys! I literally looked like him. My face was swollen and deformed. I hadn't showered in 2 days. I'm on, insane painkillers and steroids, which is a pretty insane mix that I might add. That I don't know how doctors get away with this. They go, listen, we're going to put you on a steroid so your body heals quicker, which I get. And they go, but also you're going to be in an insane amount of pain. So here is all of the pain drugs that your body can take, and we're going to mix these together twice a day. I'm not saying that I get why people are addicted to pills. I'm just saying I wouldn't be mad if I had another emergency dental surgery, okay? Because between that steroid and that pain pill, I was feeling wonderful. Yeah, second chair, Hannah is with us today. We had a guest planned and scheduled and was supposed to be here, and then I went in for emergency surgery that next day, so trying to get them back in line with the schedule, but Hannah's here, so yay.
And I feel all official. I have, for the first time ever, my own mic stand, so no one has to watch my weird hand positions as I hold the mic the entire podcast.
Your own mics? You got your own mic stand. You got a brand new mic.
I do. I forgot about that. I also have a fancy microphone.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't give her the
this.
fancy one like mine because, yeah, I was just
she doesn't trust me with those.
No. I was like, I selfishly, I was like, I want to be unique. I want to have the cool mic. You can get the boring one.
Oh, I'm still pumped. I feel all official now. I'm excited.
Yeah, you get a mic stand. You don't have to hold the mic for once.
You don't know how. I feel like that's how. I don't know if that's like an adult thing, but the tiniest things make me excited. I have been so excited to use this mic stand since we bought it. And then you went into surgery, so I couldn't even use it then. So I've had to wait 2 weeks.
I'm sorry.
No, real talk.
I'm sorry that my surgery inconvenienced your mic stand privileges.
Real talk, though, you mentioned it a second ago. I didn't realize how long it was going to take you to recover. Because I was kind of thinking, like, I had my wisdom teeth pulled out years ago.
But it wasn't. Yeah. Well, that's the thing is,
But-
the surgery is more complex. I mean, it's a bone graft.
Well, and I kept forgetting about that,
So-
too. Because that's
They're
really
not just
what-
pulling
yeah.
wisdom teeth. Like, it's an actual bone graft. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it was an actual, like, had to go to
And
an oral surgeon.
Well, that's the annoying thing is like, so I got my chipped tooth at the restaurant, right? And when I go to the dentist, I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I've had a root canal before.
yeah.
So I figured, okay, tooth cracked in half. My dad has terrible teeth, which he politely handed down to me.
Yes, how kind of him.
And so I was like, it's going to be another root canal, which sucks. Root canals suck, but
Yeah.
a root canal, you know, three days and you feel crappy for 3 days.
Yeah.
But
But that's it.
honestly, you're fine. Like I went back to work, I think the next day.
Yeah, you did.
Guy
yeah.
had it at 7 a.m., but still, I went back
Yeah.
the next day and like, yes, your tooth hurts for 3 days, but root canals, they suck, but you can recover. I went full, pulled the tooth, bone graft, you know, and it has to form blood clots and all this other stuff. Like, of course, going into it, it's everything with me is always, it's like, this would be simple and easy and done today. You've got to come
Yep.
back because we have to do the most dramatic thing we can do with your tooth besides, you know, craft a gold one. Like, I was just like, of course, that's just how it's going to be. And I didn't know, you all saw from the video because there was a lot of you that watched it. But I, in case you didn't know from that video, I don't handle like pain medications. I don't handle anesthesia. I don't handle anything like that well. Neither does my dad. So
No.
when Dad went in for heart surgery, whatever it was, 4 or 5 months
yeah,
ago,
a couple months ago.
dude, the nurse came out in a panic because typically after your surgery, they say about an hour and a half or 2 hours, you wake up. So
Yeah.
it's 2 hours, right? And it's pushing on 3 hours and Dad's not budged.
No.
The nurse came in and he's not budging. They can't wake him up. They terrified he's going into a coma. Like they're
Yeah, they thought he had
losing.
a
They're
stroke.
running out thinking like maybe he had a stroke. He's in a
Yeah.
coma. There's complications. And it was so funny because this is how you know you've been married for just so long. I'm sitting in the lobby with Mom. You know, Dad's in there with heart surgery, and I'm sitting there. We're just talking. The nurse comes out panicking. We can't wake him up. We don't know what to do. And Mom, you know, at first, Mom's like, "What do you mean you can't wake him up?" Because the nurse did. If there was a protocol to not panic a crowd, she did the opposite of that. She came
Bless
out
her
and basically was
heart.
like, "Fire! Everyone's dead. There's like a shooter in loose." Like she came out in just full panic mode in a lobby in a waiting room of 50 people.
Yeah.
And so everybody's like, everybody's gasping for us. You know, it's this whole thing. And the lady's like, well, he's breathing. We can hear him snoring. And Mom's like, oh, he just doesn't wake up from anesthesia for a long time.
Yeah.
Like it affects him heavily.
yeah.
And that was me. I do not remember for the first even the first 2 days, really.
Yeah.
I remember some blonde girl like I was sitting outside of a car, and I remember some like teenager or something like that. I don't know why. I remember like a 15-year-old blonde girl, and the next thing I remember is the following day of surgery. I remember eating some type of soup. And I just remember eating the soup, and not to get gross, but I ate the soup, and then there's so much blood from the surgery, and like I had a bucket of blood. It kind of looked like a horror film. I just had a bucket of blood. So like I remember eating the soup and it tasting bad, and I like spit the soup out, and there was just blood. Those are the only two things I remember until Saturday morning.
Yeah.
I remember Saturday fine, but the first 2 days, that's how heavily it affected me
Yeah.
for just a dental surgery.
Oh, it was hilarious. I mean, y'all saw most of the video, and that wasn't even all of it. That was
Well,
60 seconds.
Yeah, we had to cut out quite a
Wait,
bit.
Yeah, he
So
had.
it
You
finds
think regular Jacob is?
it turns out. You know, like how everybody's just like the drunk version of you's the real version. Well, clearly the anesthetic version or the loopy version of me is the real me, because
There's a lot.
yeah, I don't. There's not a polite or like a appropriate way to put it.
A
You know,
PG-13.
but yeah, I was making several gestures.
Something else.
I was doing a lot, and
No.
yeah. I also flipped you off a lot.
Constant.
Apparently,
Well,
I don't even remember. I just apparently people were driving by and I would just flip them off and think that like I thought it was hilarious.
Well, and you were getting very upset with me because, and I there was a couple clips in the video. All he wanted to do, and this was very obscure, he wanted to go to Petco and he wanted a hamburger. Those are the two things and we had an hour plus drive home. Those were the two things that the entire time, and every time I told him, no, you need to go rest. We can't go to Petco right now. He would flip me off, or he would say that I was like a party killer. I was communist America at one point.
Communist America.
He literally have a video where he's flipping me off and he's going, "You're communist America." But
I don't know why, like, literally just flipping everybody off. Everybody was like, she's like, we were just driving and you would roll down the window or try to, and you would just like flip someone off and then you would laugh.
Yo.
I'm like, dude, apparently I have a 13-year-old boy's sense of humor when I get loopy.
He tried to throw his shoe out the window.
Yeah, I think that was in the video. I tried to chuck my
in.
shoe out the window.
Yeah. But it's hilarious that the blonde girl stuck with you because, guys,
the only thing I remember.
Literally, we were pulling out of the dentist parking lot. It had been,
and I don't even really remember her, but like I literally, I remember like a child.
Yeah, well, because we were pulling out of the surgery center, so we'd been driving for 60 seconds, and Jacob, he can't talk at this point because he had just come out of surgery, but he's making gestures, and I'm driving and trying to figure out what he's doing. And then all of a sudden, I don't even know how to describe this properly.
I literally don't remember anything.
He takes my Dr. Pepper Chick-fil-A cup and starts trying to pee in it. So I was like, okay, I guess we need to use the restroom because he can't communicate. And so the Walgreens is literally the first place that I could pull off into that would have a bathroom that we could use.
Had to go to the bathroom, clearly.
Yeah, clearly he had to go to the bathroom. But he was also like so on drugs that he could not walk. So
you said they like put that, like they had to wheelchair me to the car.
Yes, they had to literally wheelchair you to the car. So I'm having to I'm having to carry/drag him into the Walgreens so that he can use the restroom. And then
why didn't you just tell me no?
I did tell you no, and you tried to pee in my Dr. Pepper.
I had to go.
I wasn't about to have you go in my car. So no, I literally had to. We're not getting TMI, but we're just gonna put it this way: he couldn't walk and he had to use the restroom. But this poor girl, I don't know if she was like seriously concerned about you, which she probably was, because everyone in the Walgreens was.
Well, yeah, I have blood.
Concerned.
I had like my.
You had gauze in your mouth.
I have gauze on my face,
yeah.
And I'm stumped. Like I genuinely don't remember a thing.
I have not heard "Bless His Heart" as many times in a row since I lived in Texas. Like, but she was coming out because she was in there when we walked in, and she happened to be coming out when we were coming out, and I was trying to get you in the car, and I was trying to like maneuver your body into the car, and you couldn't really like do anything for yourself. And she just came by and she's like, I'm so sorry. I can tell that, like he's not feeling well. I hope he gets better soon. And I was like, oh, thank you. Like, he just had surgery. And she was like, oh, well, I hope he gets better. And then, like, runs off to her car. And
it's the only,
only thing he remembers.
It's the only thing I remember. But I don't remember any of the conversation. I remember sitting in a car. I remember, like, my seat. I think my seat was back or something.
Yeah, you put it back.
So I just remember, like, laying in a car and then, like, turning and this girl saying something. And then I woke up. Like the next, literally afternoon.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything until about 1 the next day, and I vaguely remember stuff there. It's still pieced together there. It wasn't until Saturday that I genuinely knew, or genuinely could kind of coherently think.
Yeah.
But even then, I was still on so much medication that
Well, and you slept. for so long during those first couple days. Like you would be up to eat
That is the
and
only
to go to the
bro,
bathroom.
that's the only positive thing about surgery, bro. Is the pain medication and then just being in a bed all day. I watched so much TV.
Yes, he did.
It's just but like when you're watching TV, when you get sick or you have a surgery, so you're laying in bed, so you're drugged out of your mind. So whatever TV show you're watching is even better, but then you'll fall asleep and wake up 5 episodes later.
Yeah.
I don't know what that feeling is, that dopamine that's released where it's just like, I missed all of season 3.
Yeah.
All and
right.
you're in such a state of mind where you just don't care. You're like, I'll just start on season 4. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was, dude,
Oh.
it was nuts.
It
But
was
I'm alive now.
It was
so
fantastic. I wish you could remember it because I feel like when I tell the stories, if I didn't have my phone recording our entire drive, I don't think anyone would have believed any of the stories that I told them.
Well, no. So the last time I had surgery before this, the last time I was like put out or put under
Yeah.
or whatever,
Oh,
it was a full blown nasal surgery.
yeah.
I get very weepy, like, so I cried a lot. I kept hugging the nurses and apparently bawling, like, hard. Like, ugly crying, bawling hard, and I kept telling everybody that I was Spider-Man who played for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
As it should be.
So yeah. Never, I am a, back in my younger days, I was a fun drunk just because, I get happy when I get under drugs. But apparently, the older I get, I just get angry. I start flipping everybody off and thinking it's funny,
and,
or
rated R.
I become a menace. I become like a 14-year-old menace where I'm flipping people off, trying to pee in cups. Like,
You also called mom multiple times asking her if you could have hamburgers because
I'd see
Hannah
that.
was being a meanie and wouldn't let you have hamburgers.
I kept calling mom.
Yes, to the point where she literally said, "Hannah, take the phone away from him."
Yeah.
Which you didn't even have your phone. You were taking my phone off of the GPS stand while I was driving and using Siri because in my phone, her name is Mom. So you kept taking my phone off of the GPS and using Siri to call
How
Mom.
did Siri even understand me? Because I literally had like,
Because you just kept saying it over and over. I think she finally picked it up.
did you say Mom? Dialing
And then Mom was
Mom.
like, take the phone away. And I was like, I can't. I don't know how to get home.
That's fun. I love surgery. Surgery's great.
The
The pain, no, it was miserable, painful for a week.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
But the first 2 days, bro, you're out of work.
Yeah.
You're drugged out of your mind. I'm watching What We Do in the Shadows. Colin Robinson.
Which is kind
which-
of.
It was amazing.
Yeah, but
Bro,
it's one
you
of those
watch
kinda
if
need
you've
to be
never
on
seen
something
if
to
you've never seen
watch
What We
it.
Do in the Shadows, watch What We Do in the Shadows while you're high on painkillers. It's fantastic. So yeah, I mean, surgery was nuts. Dude, yeah, was it last week? No, we just had all those big storms come through again.
Yes.
All the tornadoes hit again.
Again.
Thompson Station and some other places. I mean, if you're not from Tennessee, you're like,
Again, you're like,
you
what
know,
is-
actually, if you're not from Tennessee, you probably
that is
heard about it
true,
because it was one of the largest tornado emergency. It was on national news.
Yeah.
I mean, my sister in Chicago saw it and texted and was like, hey, I heard you guys are getting nailed.
Yeah.
But dude, so it's like you get done with surgery and not even like maybe a week to the day.
You're finally like feeling a little bit better.
The day that I start feeling, I started feeling okay. I was
Yeah.
still on pain meds and still in pain, but I was like, man, I'm feeling okay. You know, you hear tornadoes could be pushing through your way, and I'm like, it's fine.
It's fine.
Like
We've had that
we
for
stared
6
at
months.
when we stared at the radar and everything was going north or south
Yeah.
of us. Next thing you know, we're sitting on the couch, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. And I was like, kind of sounds like
It
nah.
kind of sounds like a
I
tornado.
go back to playing Fortnite, and then we hear it again, and then I walk out into the backyard, and there's a funnel,
Yeah,
and then on the
y'all.
so I was like, we turn on the TV real quick, and of course it's like, the town. There's a town that's like 7-8 minutes away from us. They're like, a tornado just touched down.
Yeah.
So there's a tornado 8 minutes up the road,
Yeah.
heading towards us. So, you know, when a tornado hits, you know, like I start calling people, asking where mom is because dad was out of town. So I'm like, I'm asking mom, like, where are you at?
Are you okay?
Like, are you safe? Are you
Yeah.
alive? Are you at home? like asking them their opinion, like, hey, do you think our house was good? Should we try to go here? Yada, yada, yada. And, I'm walking in and out outside, just trying to look at the funnel because you could
see
literally
it.
see it.
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of outside trying to see, all right, is it moving towards us? Is it moving away? What? And because if you turn on the news, the news is just like seek shelter immediately,
Yeah.
otherwise you're gonna be dead. And so, Hannah's got on a YouTuber. This is what he does, right? What's his name?
Ryan Hill.
Ryan Hill. We're gonna tag him in the show, and we're gonna clip this and send it to him. So tornadoes are hitting all of Tennessee, and I hear this random YouTuber like, "There's an F5439 heading your way. Seek shelter now." This is, if you see, there's a developing funnel cloud that is flying east to the north south at 29 degrees. I'm like, who? I was like, what news channel are you watching? She's like, I don't watch Channel 2. I watch Ryan Hill. And I'm like, who the frick is Ryan Hill? She's like, he's the most trustworthy source for tornadoes. And so like the way our house is, we got our kitchen, then we have just a toilet and a sink, like right off to the kitchen, like a little just toilet.
It's like a half bath.
Half bath. That's what the word I was looking for. And so I walk outside. I'm on the phone with Mom because the tornado was heading up towards her. I'm watching the tornado, making sure like, okay, crap's getting real. The alarm's going off. I'm calling my sister, trying to see if they're okay. I come back inside. Right. So come back inside and I look, and if you like, right as you walk through our door, there's like a long open area, and then there's our couch. Look at our couch, and I'm like, where the hell did all of our pillows go? Like our big couch cushions. I'm like, where did all of our? That's weird. So I turned the corner to go into the kitchen, and I went to go grab a bottle of water, and I was going to head into the bathroom because at this point, everything went quiet. And I've been in tornadoes before. Actually, we talked about that on the podcast. I've been in tornadoes, so when it gets quiet, crap's about to go down.
Trains,
So I start going. I was like, all right, I'm gonna get in the bathroom, which I typically only do if it's serious.
Yes.
So it gets quiet, and I would go, oh boy. So I'm staying calm for the most part. Like I'm on the phone with Mom, and I'm just I ask a lot of questions, and I turn the corner, and there's a toilet fort happening in our bathroom. Here's the toilet. It's like toilets here, sinks here. It's just a little bathroom, and there's just a fort of my couch cushions, which are touching the toilet all over here. They're laying over the sink. We've got 2 laptops plugged into the walls, charging, with our phone charging cords, and our phones charging. Well, not my phone, but our phone's charging onto the double laptop, onto the iPad that's charging.
Yes.
There's 5 or 6 waters in the sink.
Yeah.
I don't know if she was planning on living there, but there's waters in the sink. Thank God we brought the snack mix. There's snack mix on the ground. And I turn the corner, and it's like, that movie Signs that we watched where they're wearing the tinfoil hats and the dad comes home and they're all sitting on the couch in tinfoil hats? I had that moment. Like my wife's in a tinfoil hat sitting in the bathroom, and you do not do well.
I do not do well in that kind of weather. Like the second,
not even that much. You don't do well with
I don't do well in general.
Any type of situation like that. Whether it's there's a fire in California or a tornado in Tennessee, whatever, you just lose it. Or if I'm supposed to get paid at midnight and it's 12:01 and the automatic payment hasn't deposited immediately. Yeah. She instantly goes into like, you didn't get paid. We're out of money. We're gonna have to sell our kidneys so we can make our house payment. I'm like, what? Like, it doesn't matter if we have $10 million. That's just how you operate. Yeah. You're very high strung with that stuff.
Yes. And with Storm specifically, like I've been watching Ryan all day, pretty much.
Don't say Ryan like he's like he's
like
a childhood best friend. Well, I was watching Ryan the other day. Don't.
No, but I was.
You were watching
the YouTube
Ryan
stream.
Hill, the YouTuber.
Yeah. I was watching his stream like all day, but the second that our sirens went off, I was in the bathroom. I had shoes. I had water. I had the backup. Our computers as backup chargers. I was sitting there like in a ball, wrapped in a blanket, and meanwhile Jacob's running around the neighborhood.
I'm outside. I'm seeing what's up.
I did feel justified though, because the next day I was scrolling on TikTok and this girl posted a TikTok and she was talking about, or it was just like a meme kind of TikTok. And so it was like wives during tornado watches. And
Oh
it's the
yeah,
same thing where
you
she
sent me
has,
that
like,
video.
She has a helmet.
She has a bike
on.
helmet on, and yeah.
And her kids, and she's sitting there and like shaking in the bathroom. And then it's a video of her husband just like riding his bike around the neighborhood trying to find the
Now I don't know about
tornado.
all that. I ain't trying to like go into the tornado. Like, listen, I'm like look tough syndrome. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna be out there. The second
Tiny dog syndrome.
the second that tornado starts heading my way, I'm not out there just like, woo, let's go. No, I'm in the bathroom with my tinfoil hat.
Yeah.
Like,
But I mean, I feel like we definitely like witnessed a miracle because there was 100% a funnel tornado forming in our backyard. Like we literally watched it almost right above our heads, and
that was creepy.
yeah, it was terrifying.
Tornadoes are creepy.
And then it just disappeared.
I watched I watched the Nelk Boys, which I don't know, you probably
I've heard you mention them, but I have no clue who
I
they
love
are.
the Nelk Boys, but they just went storm chasing, and they went storm chasing during this whole tornado fiasco.
No.
So they get into, I didn't realize this is like a profession.
Yes.
So they get into literally like a Mad Max car
Yeah.
where it's got like spikes that shoot into the ground at angles. It's like a black Humvee with
Mhm.
giant tires. It weighs stupid amount, and
Yeah.
they go into the storm.
Mhm.
So it's not like they follow the tornado. They go into the storm.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie, top 3 hardest I've laughed in a while than watching a bunch of grown men who like the Nelk Boys are just like, yeah, we don't care, we're gonna tornado chase. This is crazy, right? And they're drinking, and then there's like, and the guy driving the tornado car is just a sociopath. He's got long hair, and he's just like, we're gonna go into the eye of the storm, boys. Woo!
Yeah.
And they're like, woo!
And
Then the second they get into it, they're like, oh my God, we're gonna die. And I'm not joking. They're calling their girlfriends, and these are like, party boys, tough.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, turn around, this is insane. Like they start losing it, and then you just have the guy in the front who's just like, yeah, we're in the tornado.
Yeah. Well, that was the part.
But watching, one of them left. One of them so they chased one big tornado, and after the first one, he got an Uber and went back to the airport.
I don't blame him.
I would. No, like I'm not that stupid. Like,
No. Well, one, I wouldn't put myself in that position in the first
well,
place.
like one of my buddies, like Gary, we were talking like because I'm part of the brotherhood. Like I'm part, like I just am. Like I'm part of the culture. Like we were talking, and I was like, bro, I am the opposite of dumb white person die, right?
Yeah,
Because
like the
I'm not
horror
gonna,
movie,
I'm not going hiking where mountain lions are just prevalent. There's no rangers. It's not secure. I'm not, I'm not going camping in the woods with just a blanket. Like I ain't doing that stuff. So
Yeah.
like I'm not doing dumb white people stuff where we drive into tornadoes because we have this god complex that we're gonna survive it. But like legit, it was so one of them left, and then the other Nelk Boys, they stayed. They stayed and chased a couple more, but it was nuts because the tornado guy, while yes he's a psycho, he said the second we see destruction, like we're done. It's
Yeah.
no longer fun chasing a tornado.
Yeah.
It now is recovery and safety and find help.
Yeah.
So they came across one of the cities or towns that were destroyed, and they then they went into full help mode. So like the video took in a drastic turn of like dying laughing, and then it was like, oh yeah, but also
I feel like
thousands
I saw,
of people die every year.
I don't know if it was them, but I did watch a video of these storm chasers who I guess saw like a family who had been stuck in their car like in a ditch, but like they were chasing a tornado and saw a family, and they actually pulled the family out and shoved them in their vehicle because obviously the storm chasers vehicle is safer than like the minivan that the people were in. It's like that's really sweet, but no, they're psychos. You have to be
but
a
also
psycho.
I'm also shocked how many people are just stupid, and like when a tornado's on its way, they just go like, I gotta go to Kroger. And it's just like, they go, oh, a tornado's been spotted. Let me see if I can go get eggs and milk and
Yeah.
bread real quick. And
I
it's
mean,
like, Stay inside. What are you doing?
We touched on that when we were telling the story of the tornado that came through in December. How we were driving when the sirens went off, and we were going to our safe location, and the car in front of us was, going like 15 miles an hour, and you could literally see the tornado behind us, and we were trying to get to safety, and they're just like, it's a little Saturday, I'm gonna take a little drive, going literally 15 miles an hour. And like, people just don't, I don't know if people are just, they don't think about it.
No, I think people think they're invincible because like the amount of
they
people that just were driving, walking the neighborhood. Now I get it. Like, I was outside of my...
Says the man who was outside.
Yeah, but I wasn't walking the neighborhood.
Well,
I
that's
walked
true,
right
yeah.
outside to the end of the driveway and was watching the funnel to make sure. I was just trying to see if it's going to touch down by at us. Is it going to push north, east, whatever? Like, I was just trying to keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
And like I said, the second it got quiet and it went from crazy windy and it went... That's when you know the tornado's on its way because it's literally sucking the wind out.
Yeah.
And using it as force.
Yeah, yeah. Ugh.
But yeah, dude. So like it is nuts. But yeah, the Nelk Boys video is one of my. It's dude. I could never.
No.
Like, I don't like roller coasters
Yeah.
or bungee like crap like that. Let alone they're driving into a tornado. It was.
Yeah, you have to have like a weird kind of like adrenaline to.
You're a true daredevil. Like.
Yeah. Which I don't even. Like I said, I don't do well with any of that. I don't know what it is.
You start screaming like
I
the best part is
meltdowns.
she's yelling at me like no, you have full on like childhood meltdowns. Like, she's screaming like I created this tornado. Yeah, where's the tornadoes coming? And I'm like,
he was walking right
I go,
outside.
Hannah,
He was walking.
I am not God. I did not create this tornado nor the weather that creates the tornado itself. I was like, why are you yelling at me like I'm the one who did? It was like I forgot to take the trash out. She just started going. She's just like, I walk in, and then the best part is, right? So we get through that, not a problem. We go to bed. So I can't really sleep because we had
still
watches till 3 a.m.
Yeah.
And it was,
and the weather was really.
well, yeah, the weather
and
was bad, but
scary.
I'm saying it was like 1 a.m. It was supposed to hit us, and it was potential of a massive tornado coming on the storm. So I can't really sleep, and because I'm like, all right, I just want to stay awake, make sure that everything's okay, and so like I would doze off, wake back up because it stormed. It ended up like hailing a little bit under golf ball size, but it started hailing massive chunks of hail. Storming horrible, crazy. I mean, 70-mile-an-hour winds, ripping stuff up in the backyard.
Yo,
Didn't budge one time.
I will say, I'm very like high strung, but one of the things that I don't know, I guess I trained myself how to do when I was younger and I was a kid is I can fall asleep pretty much anywhere. And I can sleep.
Yeah, you're like a baby.
Everything.
You're like a baby. You can just fall asleep or like a homeless person. You can just fall asleep on a rock bed or under an overpass.
Yes, and I will be dead to the world if my phone alarm goes off. Half the time I won't hear it. Jacob wakes me up because it wakes him up.
Yeah, I wake it up because I'm trying to chuck. You also set alarms for no reason. She'll set an alarm. This is probably my biggest pet peeve with you. So let's ask the audience, right? I have to be at work at 8. I set my alarm. Well, I've been setting my alarm early because I've been working out.
Yeah.
But let's just say normal. I'm not working out.
No, have no
You
reason.
set
to
your
get up.
alarm for what, 6:45. You snooze it once. You're up at 7. Depending how far your work is. Mine's 30 minutes away, right at about 20, 30 minutes away.
Yeah.
But you set your alarm, you're up, showered, and had breakfast by 7:15. You make your cup of coffee, you're out the door at 7:30, work at 8. Normal people set their alarm 6:45. If Hannah has to be somewhere at 8, she will set her alarm for 6, 6:05, 6:15, and then she'll snooze all those, and then she'll set another alarm for 7:30. So it's either the earliest that you could set the alarm or it's the latest that you could set the alarm. No in between.
No.
And she sleeps with her phone under a pillow, like across the bed. And so it's like when it goes off, it's impossible to find. I'm just doing this like half awake, It's got to be also a terrifying scene for you. I'm just like half awake, crazy hair, gut hanging in your face, looking for a phone at 6:15. But yeah, you slept through the entire other
Yes.
portion of the massive storm.
Yes. Because I genuinely can't describe it, but I've done this for as long as I can remember. I can, like, just, I either can turn my brain off and literally fall asleep like that, or
I
it
wish.
takes me, and there are quite a few nights where it'll take me a long time to go to sleep, but then once I'm asleep, I'm out. I'm dead to the world. I've slept through fire, like the house fire alarms going off before.
Oh, that's
Luckily,
good.
there wasn't actually a fire, so it was
Maybe
fine.
we do need a dog, because if I just so happen to be so exhausted from being kept kept awake by you my entire life, like the dog's gonna be the only one that warns us of fire. He's gonna bite me and I'll wake up,
Yeah.
whereas you're just gonna be sitting there. You're gonna wake up.
There's a
Would
reason
you look
why.
at that? The house is gone. Huh, crazy.
There's excuse me. There's a reason why every time you go out of town, I'm almost always at mom and dad's. Because can you imagine if I was by myself at the house and something were to happen during the night?
You're like a gremlin. Do you know that? Like other people have to take care of you. Other people have to wake you up when tornadoes happen. You
I'll
go.
take care of- I'll take care of other people during the day. I just need someone to take care
Tornado
of me.
hits you, go, "Ah," and you just run around in circles. You're too young. You don't even freaking know Gremlins.
No,
Gremlins is Brandon's favorite
I know.
movie, by the way.
I know it. Like, I can picture like the movie poster and movie cover from Gremlins.
That's Brandon's favorite movie.
Oh, I thought his favorite movie was Up. He has two favorites.
I mean, it's not like a sentimental thing. Gremlins is a movie about puppet monsters that come
Well,
alive.
actually,
like,
that tracks. That's
but yeah,
his
it's
favorite
that's one
movie.
of Brandon's.
Speaking of movies,
What?
I have to set this up. The other day, we were chilling. I don't know what we were doing, but we just decided to watch a movie.
Oh, I was on drugs.
Well,
I
that
was
is
just laying
true.
in a bed. There was nothing to do.
He was on drugs.
Literally, it didn't go. I wasn't working. I couldn't eat.
Yeah.
Like I was like a hospice patient. I'd sit there. You'd come feed me soup every
Yeah.
2 hours.
And Jacob was like, "Hey, there's this movie I want to watch. Let's watch it." I was like, "Okay, whatever." He turns on
Oh yeah, yeah,
Iron
yeah, yeah.
Claw, which I have no idea about it, and I'm thinking it's just like another. I mean, another
Well, I mean,
sports movie.
yeah, you guys know.
Yeah.
I'm a WWE
So I was
fan.
like, "Oh, this will be interesting. It's like a true story." We watched WWE. This will be fun. Like 10 minutes later, I'm bawling my eyes out because we turned on the most heart-wrenching. Like,
It's not a fun watch.
no,
Yeah, no.
not I was not.
Life's not.
I was
it-
not
li-
prepared.
Life's not fun. I mean, I don't. You can never prepare. I don't care if you even know that it's a sad movie going
Yeah.
into it.
But it's like life's not fun, and then there's that. Like that's a whole other level of just like there was not a happy moment
Yeah, there was.
the entire movie.
There was 15 seconds at the end of the movie that was sweet.
Yeah, at the very end,
Yeah.
that was like sweet, but
So don't
also
say there
that's
was-
the hardest you're crying in the entire movie because of what the scene
So,
is.
bro, so if you've never seen Iron Claw, all right, let's give a rating out of 10.
I mean, it was good. It was just sad. Like I'd probably
That's
give
not
it,
a rating out of 10.
No, I know.
Okay,
I don't
well,
know.
I'll
I'm
go
gonna give
for
it like an 8 point. I don't know, 8.7.
Jesus.
What is that bad?
Well, I mean, just you love suicide and you love depression.
No.
I'm just giving you a hard time. Calm down.
What are you gonna give it?
I don't know, way to bring the whole thing to a halt. Just
Sorry.
make it so awkward and quiet and uh, it's well made. It's a good movie in the sense that like the storytelling I thought was really good, but they're just telling a story I don't like.
Yeah.
I'm probably sitting at like a 7.98, like right
Okay.
at a 7.9-ish. But all right, so if you don't know what Iron Claw is, because we're just brushing through it without
Well, that
even
is very
just
true. We
yeah,
didn't-
you didn't set up and
There's a
tell
reason I'm
about
the
the movie. You just
co-host.
go, oh, there's a depressing movie. See ya. No. So Iron Claw is a true story based on it's about not WWE, but it's about professional wrestling
Yeah.
And the Von Erichs are and still widely are known as one of the greatest wrestling families of all time. They were entrepreneurs. They started their own promotion that
Yeah.
ended up getting bought out by the WWF at the time, or the WWE, what it is now. Like, they were professional wrestlers. Their dad was, and then their dad raised all of his kids and all of his sons. They had all boys, and all of the boys, for the most part, got into the family business
Yeah.
and were wrestlers. What they don't tell you, so like you're thinking, okay, it's a story about wrestlers. What they don't tell you is the story, in the quick synopsis. Now, spoiler warning. So if you're watching this or if you're listening to this, I am going to give away the story. So just, you have 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Everyone dies. End of story. There's no other, like, that's it.
Yeah.
So the story is literally the Von Erichs. This dad has a wrestling promotion. He basically overworks and abuses his sons to greatness. Now, they don't show or allege any physical abuse,
Yeah.
although I feel it's implied in the film. I'm not trying to, bring up traumatic memories for the family with this thing, but
Yeah.
it feels like the dad, there's an overbearing presence that feels a little bit, bullish to me, is
Yeah.
the best way to put it. But basically, the dad never got to achieve his dreams as a professional wrestler. He wanted to be world champion. And so and here's the thing, very much like Michael Jackson's dad, he overworked, exercised over
Yeah.
everything, his kids. Overworked them, I guess, emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually.
Yeah.
And they did become great. Like, a couple of his sons did win the belt and got to fight Ric
Yeah.
Flair. But
Yeah,
at what cost? And so this movie just explores the cost that it took for him to will his sons to greatness, right? So there's multiple, what, five? Because there's one that wasn't in the film. I'm trying to think. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6. So there's 6
Yeah.
boys. One of them are, 1, 2, 3 of them committed suicide. And one of them crashed his motorcycle, lost his foot, and then committed
Yeah.
suicide. The only one alive, one of them died very young. The other one died because
His,
of ulcers
liver
and
or something.
intestine failure,
Yeah.
because he was overworked and over abused in the ring.
And they used a lot of
Well, and they use steroids, and like
steroids
the
and stuff, too.
the dad instilled in these kids that it's either win or die.
literally.
Literally.
Yeah.
And so the reason a lot of the boys committed suicide is because they couldn't live up to the expectation.
Yeah.
And they were, when you're injecting your body full of pain medications because you're in so much pain, and steroids, and you're going to push yourself to die.
Yeah.
So there's only one brother that's alive today. And the story just explores, they leave out one of the brothers completely. You don't hear about him. And the director came out and said, like, it's because they could not add another suicide on top of the already 3 that were in the movie.
Yeah.
The little brother drowned to death as a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
4 or 5-year-old. Insanely tragic. One brother committed suicide. The 2 other brothers committed suicide. One because he got hurt in the ring and felt like he could never get back to what his dad wanted him to be. Killed himself. The other brother got cut by the WWF after the WWF found out that he was lying about being an amputee, and
Sorry, I thought I heard something. That's on me. Keep going.
Are you good there?
Yeah, I thought I heard something downstairs, but I didn't. Sorry.
Okay. So yeah, the one brother ended up getting cut by WWF because he was lying about being an amputee, and he was also in so much pain, and he had also gotten he didn't get cut because he was an amputee, but because he was an amputee, he was in so much pain and having to do so much painkillers,
Yeah.
and he became an alcoholic and an addict, and then ended up getting some criminal charges. So between that brother, he ended up killing himself. The only brother that's alive and survived is the second oldest brother.
Yeah.
And he's still alive today, and has a family. But the emotional abuse in emotional state he was in until he found his own family is another story in and of itself. So it literally is a story that encompasses all of these tragic, awful, horrible deaths. and the one son that's alive today lives on a farm, or lives on a ranch,
Yeah.
and he has all of his extended family, 13 grandkids, his entire family. Everybody lives with him on this compound because he basically said that if he lost all of his family, he doesn't want to lose them again. So,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful thing in and of itself. But as far as the movie goes, it's, I would go 7.9. It's incredibly well made. It's not fun.
Well, and
I think it's one of those things where, like, I picked up my phone afterwards and started calling my brother and my dad. Like, it's one of those where you get hit so hard as a grown man. If you're not crying, something wrong with you, because I mean it hits you.
Yeah. And something that I'm passionate about, just because of some stuff that I've experienced, is like the dangers of parents trying to live like their dreams through their children.
Live vicariously through their kids.
Yes. And that's something that I've always been very passionate about, is like bringing awareness to the danger that can come from that kind of situation. And so watching a movie about like this dad who, in my opinion, kills his entire family by trying to live out his dream and his goal that he wasn't able to achieve through them, was, I don't know, it was really hard to watch, but I think that it's definitely something that needs to be like talked about even more. But I read an article afterwards that was kind of talking about the relationship that the like team that made the movie had with the family. And
well, you have to have a good enough you have to have a close enough relationship where they're going to let you in on personal details.
Yeah.
You see that a lot with, like, when Mark Wahlberg did Lone Survivor. He spent a ton of time with the actual guy, Marcus Luttrell.
Yeah.
And he was very adamant about being around his family and getting to know them on a, not a friend level, on a family level.
Yeah.
And genuinely treated them like family and was around them like family. Because the only way, and honestly, rightfully so,
Yeah.
the only way I would allow a story like this to be, or I would want a story like this to be told, is if that type of love and care went into the story itself.
Yeah.
I just think it's a yeah. The being a coaching for a long time, you see that through a lot of these kids where these parents are willing their what they feel, what they want on their kids. And yeah, man, it's like you said, it's not only dangerous, it happens every day, and it happens without knowing it. I mean, you take your kid to Little League, you take your kid to cheer, you take your kid to football, and you're screaming at them to be great, and then you're disappointed when they fail you. And it's like, well, you're setting them up for failure from the beginning because of your own standards. It's like, I pray that when I have a kid that's playing sports, I'm competitive. Don't get me wrong. My kids will work. If they're going to play a sport, they're going to work hard.
Yeah.
They're gonna try their best, and hopefully they're great at it. And I'm gonna cheer. We're gonna work out together, and I'm gonna push them.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, these kids need to know that they're loved, and these kids need to know that it's okay to rest. It's okay to say no. It's okay to not train for a day, because we eat, sleep, live, and drink whatever these kids are training for. And literally, that story's the definition of, if you do that, you're gonna kill your kids.
There was
Literally.
one more thing I wanted to touch on about the article that I was reading, that I literally cried when I was reading this part of the article, because at the very, again, spoiler, but at the very end of the movie, there's this scene that is all of the sons. It's after the last son dies, and it's
all of the
all
sons
of
that
the
have passed
sons.
away.
Yeah, it's their when they meet in heaven, pretty much is what it is. So it's like this scene where they all get to see each other again for the first time. And the guy who made the film, he added that in just because he wanted there to be some sort of closure to the story. Like this, it's such a heavy movie and it's such an emotional movie.
Yeah, he wanted some sort of happy ending.
Yeah.
Just
like,
you can't have a happy ending with 4 suicides, but
yeah, but just like this closure. And he just added that. He just felt Like the way he orchestrated the scene is he mirrored a scene, a happy scene from earlier in the film when the boys were younger. And that's just something that he came up with that he put in the movie. And when he was showing the family that scene, they, like the son who's still alive and the mom just like broke down in tears. And he was like so confused. And he had created through film a story that Kevin, the son, told his mom multiple times over the years to like give her peace. Like he pretty much described to her over the years, like when she was feeling very heavy, the exact scene that the director put in the movie, and the director had no idea that like that was the story that he used to describe to his mom to give her comfort. And
Yeah,
he
that's
just, like
that's crazy.
crazy. And that's like, I don't know. I just love that.
No,
And
it's
just
I
a
mean
God thing.
it's a beautiful film. It definitely
Yeah.
lets you appreciate life
But you
a
will
lot more.
cry the entire time.
No, you just it makes you appreciate life a lot more. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Daggum, we're I didn't realize how far we already into the podcast.
Yeah.
I told you we had there's a ton that I still have 4 things on this list. I mean, it just
Yeah. we kind of got on a little
yeah.
little tangent.
All right, so let's end with this. We'll do like kind of a rapid words because, like I said, we're learning something new every episode, and I
Yeah.
am too. So we'll do more of a rapid fire style. Try to keep it to like do this last segment in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Even though technically it's supposed to be 30.
Okay.
But I went to Costco for the first time.
Y'all, he's never stepped foot in a Costco.
No.
That's
I like to
crazy
be
to me.
fashionably late to everything. Game of Thrones, Costco, you name it. If I'm late to it, awesome. I just started getting into Taylor Swift. No. But like I like to be fashionably late to stuff, right? Because I always tell people, every time you tell me it's going to be the greatest thing I've ever seen, the greatest store, the greatest this, the greatest that, when I get there, my expectations are always so much higher than what it ends up being.
Yeah, that's true.
And it drives me up a wall because everybody's constantly like, the Game of Thrones is the greatest show to ever be made. So I finally watched the Game of Thrones. And then the last season ruined it. It was the worst final 4 episodes of any franchise. That's not even me. The world said that, right? And so it's like, that's why I have trust issues, is because people like you out there that tell me Costco's the greatest, Game of Thrones is the most amazing show, and the final season's not that bad. It was that bad. So I go, I planted flowers this weekend. I was a very productive person because I'd been cooped up for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I had all this, like I said, pent up prison energy. So I'm outside, I'm gardening and doing all this other stuff. And then I get the bright idea. I go, hey, for Mother's Day, Mom likes Costco. Let's go get Mom a Costco membership. I had no desire to get one. I said, let's go get Mom a Costco
And I've been
membership.
begging to get one.
Yeah, but you begged to get a new membership to something. You're just like, we should definitely go get a Kohl's card. We should definitely get a Target. Like, every single day, she's like, I think we should go get a Publix card. Like, it changes. Yeah. So I take what you say with a grain of salt because it will change tomorrow. Tomorrow, you'll be like,
That's valid.
we should have got a BJ's a BJ's membership instead of Costco.
No, never say
So
that.
I go, all right, let's go see what this is about. We went and walked BJ's, which if you're not familiar with a BJ, no, if you're not familiar with BJ's, it's discount Costco.
It's like the Walmart version of Costco. Like the
No, it's not even the Walmart version. It is the Rite Aid to Walgreens. Like it's the Rite Aid to Walgreens is the perfect example.
Yes.
So yeah, and so we walked BJ's and I was just like, it's fine. Then we went into Costco and I went and got the membership. Which, by the way, I walked in and I was trying to get to the membership part, and I couldn't even get to the membership part. And I got stopped by 3 employees. I'm pretty sure with AK-47s. I don't know. But I basically was like, what are you doing here? Why are you here? Where's your card? You walk outside, sir. And I see security coming. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, what is in here? And so they walk me over to the desk. And this lady just starts talking to me about the Costco membership. And I still have yet to kind of see it because the membership desk is in the exit. Yeah. So I'm kind of peeking around I don't see the back of this wall. Like, where am I right now? Yeah. I'm like, I can't see the back of this wall. And so I go to sign mom up for the membership. Next thing you know, I'm walking out with a membership. Mom's walking out with a membership. Everybody's walking out with a membership. And I walk out, and they closed at 6 on weekends or something like that.
Which
So
is
I didn't know
crazy,
that.
Yeah.
And so like it was 5:58, so they were closing everything.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'll come back on Sunday. So I came back, or we went back on Sunday, and I'm here to announce that Costco's the greatest store that's ever happened ever. And I wanted to hate it. When I
So
tell
bad.
you,
He
I
wanted to hate
wanted
it.
to hate it so bad. Just because everybody tells me how great it is, I wanted to walk in and be like, it's not that good. I wanted to walk in and be like, that's really not even that good of a deal. These snacks aren't that great. I don't need my car serviced while I'm shopping. Like, I wanted to walk in and just crap on it. And it was, first off, it took 2 hours to walk.
He pulled the Costco. Everybody knows what the Costco dad is. He pulled a Costco dad.
What's
Where-
a Costco dad?
Oh, well, it's like a thing where when dads go to Costco, they literally have to walk
Yeah, you walk every aisle.
single aisle.
Well, it was also my first time. Like, so I went down. They're like, "What's down this way?" They're like, "Oh, that's that's women's underwear." I was like, "Well, I just got to see what discounts over here." And like, I would just walk. I went down no matter what it was. They're like, "This is for baby formula." I'm like, "I have fish." I went down the baby formula aisle. Like, I had to see everything.
You had to see everything.
And like, they have jewelry, so I'm looking at the next watch I'm getting. I'm getting a Blackstone. I'm getting like, you name it. I'm getting the inflatable slide that best fits my needs. I'm getting the electric scooter that best fits my needs. Like, I'm just walking around, I'm mind blown. Costco's incredible. I go, man, I really want this very specific vitamin, but it's very expensive online. Turn the corner, there's
right
900 of the
Yeah.
vitamin. It's incredible. So we're gonna do a couple, give or take, like, just run through your list. I don't know how many you prepared, but we're gonna teach you a little bit about, because I don't know this, but we're gonna teach you about the wonders of Costco and just some fun, interesting facts. And so let's learn. You're up.
Yeah.
Let's learn about Costco.
These are all random things. Costco has business centers that sell 32-pound containers of sour cream.
32 pounds.
32 pounds.
How long does sour cream go bad? Are they just dumping it over the people of Mexico? Like, what do you do with 32 pounds? I don't even know if like a restaurant would serve 32 pounds of sour
I
cream.
don't know. Apparently, there's some that you can also get like 50 pounds of onions, 56-gallon cans of maple syrup, 5-gallon buckets of pickles, 32-pound containers of sour cream.
Mike,
Sorry. But I don't even know. I'm assuming restaurants.
yeah, but I'm saying
Maybe?
32 pounds of sour cream. I'd be interested to know how long sour cream lasts.
I don't know. I have no clue.
I don't know how long sour cream lasts, but I'd be interested to see that. I'd be interested to see who the crap buys 32 pounds of sour cream. All right, so let's continue.
Costco sells half the world's cashews.
Half of the world's cashews.
Yes. Costco they support 2.5 million independent cashew farmers,
Wow.
which I don't even know that there was that many cashew farmers.
Well, because their brand isn't the Costco brand Kirkland's or something like
Yeah,
that. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
that's their-
Yeah. So Kirkland
yeah.
products. I wonder if that's all under the umbrella of the Costco. I would assume.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
yeah, I mean, I could see that.
And then this can be the last thing, but
do you not have more?
I mean, I do.
So
but
keep
this
going.
this is a list of just some of the things that you can buy through Costco that you probably have no clue you can buy through Costco. You can get home and auto insurance through Costco. You can get life insurance through Costco.
Microphone.
Sorry.
You keep
Sorry.
looking over there.
You can rent like budget truck rentals through Costco. You can buy
Who goes to a grocery store and goes, "Do you guys have a U-Haul that I can rent real quick?"
Y'all, Costco is a one-stop shop. You can buy RVs from Costco. You can.
I can
also
see that though.
just
Like
buy
I can see that
cars.
in like Texas or Florida,
Yeah.
a Costco that has like an RV lot with it. I can see that.
Yeah, that's very true. You can get flooring and carpet installation.
Well, I did see that. I didn't know that was a thing that
Yeah.
on the boxes of flooring that was there, it had like a number of service you could use.
They also have Costco themselves has like their own travel, like they call it Costco Travel, and they employ more than 900 travel agents. So you can book
Well, you can book
trip.
you can book Disney trip. I didn't know
Yeah.
you could do more than
Disney
that.
and Costco
I did know
has like a partnership.
Yeah, I didn't know that Disney and Costco had a partnership, and I knew you
Yeah.
could book Disney through them because, like, sometimes, actually, when we walked in, there was like a scan this for your best Disney ticket deals.
Yeah.
I didn't know they did like full service
Yeah.
travel. Interesting.
And then I want you to guess how many eggs do you think Costco sells a year?
How many eggs?
Mhm.
190 million. 350 million. 472 million. 876 million. 999 million. 2 billion. 3 billion. 5 billion.
No, down.
4 billion.
Yes.
How long? I was about to say,
No.
you're going to make me go through
Literally
the
4
whole 4 billion eggs a
And
year.
this is a really interesting fact. They
Holy
only
crap.
sell cage-free eggs.
Like
So-
free roaming
Yeah.
chickens.
Yeah.
Cool.
Those are the only eggs that they sell in their entire
4
place.
billion eggs. My God.
I can't even like comprehend that amount of
I can't. No one. I like. Jeff Bezos can't comprehend 4 billion. Isn't he only worth like 3?
Yeah. I mean that is true.
So they sell more eggs than Jeff Bezos' net worth. That's nuts.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I have a list of how many Costco's are in each continent or like each country because it's
I didn't even know-
international.
I did not know Costco was international.
Yeah.
I also didn't know Costco basically existed until 3 days ago. So don't
Yeah,
take my
that
word
is
for
true.
it. All right, how many?
United States has 602 locations.
Where do they put them?
There's one in Manhattan.
No. I understand that they put them in states, but I'm saying they're like 500,000 square foot buildings. Where the crap
Yeah.
are they putting these things?
But you got to think. There's one where we live. There's one in Nashville. There's
No.
one in Franklin.
I don't think you're getting the butt of the joke. What I'm saying is
I'm-
I understand where they are and I understand that they're everywhere. But
Oh,
I'm
but
saying is
how-
how the crap can you fit that big of a building
Yeah.
just in every city, basically?
I mean, that is true because I was reading the largest Costco is like over 200,000 square feet.
Yeah, it's like 238,000, 240,000
Yeah.
square feet,
Which is
which is
Mind-blowing.
psychotic.
Canada has 108 locations. Mexico has 40 locations. Japan has 33
Interesting.
locations. The UK has 29. South Korea has 18.
Japan has that many? Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, because Japan, yeah. And then Australia has 15. Taiwan has 14. China has 6. Spain has
That's
4.
so bad. That's so backwards. You have like Japan, which is a sliver, has 30 plus, and then China has 6.
You know what's crazy is like France has 2. Iceland has a Costco. Now it just has 1.
Well, yeah, because that one services
And-
the entire
Yeah.
country of Iceland.
Well, yeah, and then New Zealand and Sweden also have 1.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, you got any more? We're about to wrap up.
I'll just do this last one.
We're running long.
Costco sells 7 times the hot dog, like 7 times more hot dogs than all MLB stadiums combined.
Holy crap.
The record
That is nuts.
the record for the most hot dog sales in 1 month from like one Costco, or it just says the record for hot dog
Yeah.
sales in 1 month belongs to this one city in Japan where 64,512 hot dogs were sold in a 4-week period.
Holy crap. That must have been like opening week where these
Yeah,
Japanese people
everybody's
are
just
like,
going crazy.
these Japanese people are like, what the crap is this? And then they're like, hot dogga? Hot
Yeah.
dogga? And then they're just like, oh, incredible.
And now you know why you can get a hot dog.
That's
at
nuts.
Costco
7
for
times more
$1.50.
than the baseball stadium.
Then-
That's
all of them.
I would have never have guessed they
No.
did more than which I mean, now that I didn't realize how many locations there were and all that. So
Yeah.
it makes sense now, but that is yeah, that's freaking bonkers.
Yeah.
What else? We were talking about something earlier with Costco. Another fact. What was it?
I mean, I was telling you earlier about like, ironically, the founder of Costco, of all the things that Costco sells that I just listed,
Yeah.
his favorite item that they ever sold was a nozzle for your hose that had 4 different settings.
Yeah.
That was
Enjoy the little things, brother.
and it was like a $15 hose nozzle, and that was his absolute
But
favorite thing they ever sold.
When you're worth, I wonder how much that guy's worth.
I don't know here.
But yeah, you look it up. That's nuts. Yeah, Costco is a different breed, brother. I mean, when I went in there, the line to get a hot dog, and it's affordable too, which is that's the other fact we were talking about, is that Costco actually loses money on their concessions and loses money on their rotisserie chickens, but they want to be the cheapest supplier of chicken and the cheapest like food. And so the reason they maintain their $1.50 for a hot dog cost is because they figure that if they can get people through the door, they're going to make more money that way. So they're okay losing on chicken and concessions. Sorry, you look like you want to say something. Did you know that? Did you listen to my fact?
I did.
Okay. Can you acknowledge my fact? Ready?
No. Wow.
Thank you. Okay, go ahead.
Kidding.
Now you can talk.
I was listening, I promise.
Go ahead.
This is as of May 13th. So that's
okay.
Today. That's as of the day we're filming. His net worth is at least $301 million.
Oh, I would have thought it would have been more.
Well, and that's
that's
an
a lot.
estimation.
That's a lot. I mean, that's still. I mean, sure. I'm sure he's worth. I'm sure he's worth probably $1 billion at this point.
Yeah.
I'm sure if his total assets across the board are probably worth, $29 billion, to be honest.
Oh gosh,
but, yeah. That's crazy. Well, there it is. Costco's incredible. Go to Costco. It's amazing. I'm going to go there tomorrow.
Yes.
I'm not even joking.
No,
I will be going there Thursday, the day after this podcast debuts. So, go to Costco. I've missed you guys. This has been nuts. A lot more. There's so much that I didn't even get to this episode. So we appreciate you. We love you. Do you have anything to say?
Caught me off guard there. Have a good rest of your week. Have a good work
What do you mean
day.
it caught me off guard? Like where?
No.
She acts like no. She acts like we're in the middle of recording a podcast. We're talking, right? We're having a conversation, and then I go, "You got anything to say?" And she's like, "Oh my god, I never would have thought you called on me." No, the other guy with the microphone is who I'm calling on.
I was homeschooled. I never got called on in class. I don't have the improv skills.
You didn't get called on with all 3 people that lived at the house. You still couldn't get called on. You still didn't make teacher's pet with all 3 of you. All right, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else? Nothing? Okay.
I was gonna say have a good rest of your day. After work, go get a Costco membership. They're open until 8:30. That's all I have to say.
Okay. Anyways, well, it's been great. I love you guys. See you next time.
That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say.